Username rejected. Your password is incorrect. Override denied. Your password is incorrect. Override denied. Program activated.
Hello and welcome to another Username Nerd podcast. My name is Mike Hewitt, and with me always, I'm sorry I can't hear myself all of a sudden, Tim Hewitt.
Tim Hewitt. I don't even get to say my own name anymore.
Oh, do you want me? Okay.
Jeez, no, it's too
I'll
late now.
redo that.
It's
And
over.
then we also have a guest with us, Charles Fort. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Awesome, doing good.
I'm going to say Charles Forte.
Forte.
I'm
the big Forte.
Forte.
What?
So, go ahead.
You go ahead.
We took a week off because of Planet Comic Con.
Yes, we did.
And I was
Great
kind of
times.
sick, and everything was crazy. But so what do we got?
Well, we're talking about...
Planet Comic Con.
No, we're not doing
Oh,
that.
whoa.
We're talking about Comic Book Man first.
Yes.
However...
No, what I was going to say is what we're going to talk about next week is Planet Comic Con.
Way to pull it out there. Way to save it.
Yeah.
It is semi-relevant because we did get an interview with Comic Book Men's Ming Chen.
That is AMC's Comic Book Men's.
Oh, sorry.
Gotta get fancy.
That's what
That is true.
That's what they
I
want.
should be branding it right.
think
we
that's-
got to
yeah,
interview
how it
him
is.
at Comic-Con. And so that was a really, really cool experience, and we actually have the clip. Do you want to...
You want to go right now?
Let's go to the clip,
Let's
Mike.
do it.
Nope.
So this is Tim with Username Nerd, and I'm here with Ming Chen.
What's going on, everybody?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great here at Planet Comic Con 2016. First time in Kansas City. I love this town. I don't know about you guys. I got here early on purpose so I could explore Kansas City, come and see the show floor early. Saw some of the other guest celebrities who came here early. So yeah, had some coffee, drank some booze, ate
That's
some barbecue.
what I was about to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Find some great sandwiches.
You
and
hit the three bests of Kansas City. You got, let's see, you got Joe's Barbecue.
Of course.
That's the best. You got Boulevard Brewing Company.
Of course.
And Roasteries.
Of course.
I mean, he got the triple trifecta.
I did all
of
that in
Kansas
2
City.
hours, by the way. I did that in the first 2 hours I was here. No joke.
So I know you're an Orioles fan. How
I
does it
am.
feel to be in the reigning champs?
You know what?
City?
As long as it's not a team from the fellow American League East, I'm pretty good with it. I hate the Yankees. Hate the Yankees with passion. Can't stand the Yankees. Can't stand their fans.
We hate them too.
Yeah, can't stand their overpriced stadium. Red Sox a little less so. I don't like the Red Sox either. Tampa Bay, Toronto, but I respect the Royals. I love George Brett growing up. Before I came here to the con, I think for a week straight, I watched the Pine Tar incident over and over and over again. Just the level of passion that George Brett played with, to see him. I mean, when they took away that home run initially, when they thought he had too much pine tar on the bat, it ended the game. So not only did he have a home run erased, but they lost the game initially. And to see how mad he was, like, that's passion, man. That's love for the game. That's how I wish every ball player played like that.
Definitely. All right, well, one thing I did want to touch on, because my brother here, Michael, is actually a computer programmer.
Okay.
And I know that's kind of how you got Kevin contacted you to program his View Askew.
He was doing it.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh,
I
really?
kind of did it already, and he found it.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he's like, "Hey, want to work with me?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess."
yeah.
Oh yeah, sir. I would love to.
I was
build your
gonna say
website.
no to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but it was cool. It was truly being a geek turned into a living, I guess. So yeah.
The other thing that
That was back when. That was real close to the beginning
Oh
of the
yeah,
internet.
websites
so
looked like crap
yeah,
back then. Man.
yeah,
There was like
it's-
gray screens and like weird fonts and like blinking. There was
Yeah.
like a blink tag
Yeah,
that
yeah.
people
Uh-huh,
overused. I'm
yeah.
like, I'm gonna make this one look cool. So I did.
the other thing I know you do is you run a lot of marathons too.
I
Which-
do.
I cannot understand how you can manage everything else in your life and then still find the strength to go out and run marathons too. Well, yeah, it's obviously a mystery to me because I can barely get out of bed and exercise. I'm just saying, you know.
And a lot of people are like, hey man, you must really love running, right? You get the runner's high or whatever. I'm like, no man, I actually don't like it. I did one because a friend kind of was like, you should sign up for this, and I did, and I was like, oh crap, now I have to go do it. So I did it. The second one I won an entry into. The next two I did for charity, for Kevin's charity, the Wayne Foundation.
That's what I was going to say. Is it more drive towards charity, or especially if you're like, I just really don't like running, but you do it more for charity?
Something like that, like running a marathon, 26.2 miles. You need a driving factor to motivate you, whether it's you're trying to impress a hot chick, you're doing it for charity.
Or just the challenge, maybe just the challenge.
I don't know. Like like my challenge is like I wonder if I can eat. I wonder if I can eat like 6 hamburgers at Town Topic tonight.
There you go.
That's
there
a
you
challenge.
Go. Oh,
yeah.
There was one place that you guys went. It was a Philly cheesesteak place.
Yes.
Gosh dang it! What was the name of it? Because I was going to ask you about it because I've never even heard of that.
Was
And I've
that
grown up in
here?
Kansas
Oh,
City
Pigwitch.
My entire life.
There's a
Pigwitch.
place called Pigwitch. It's in the
Never even
River
heard of
Market
it.
area. I believe it's called, a little north of where we are. And
I'm going to have to try it out. Was
yeah,
it good?
It was amazing.
All right, I'll have to try it out.
amazing.
I'll have to try it out.
Definitely go there. Pigwitch.
The one thing I did want to clarify is, okay, so we've all seen you on Comic Book Men, and you almost feel like the little brother of
Pretty much,
the
yes.
stash, basically. And they all kind of, I don't know, pick on you is the best word, I guess, for it. But
That's the exact word for it.
well, when it comes to reality TV, I think we all kind of know, okay, editing is a big part of it.
Sure.
So is that really the way it plays out, or is it edited afterwards to make it look like they're picking on you more than...
No. So in real life, I get picked on way more and way worse.
Oh, my.
And what the editing takes out is Brian Johnson saying things that are far too inappropriate for anybody or any TV.
I always wonder, too, because I listen to a lot of the podcasts.
Yeah, and you know what Brian Johnson's
Exactly.
really like if you listen to any of the podcasts that feature us.
I'm like, that's the tamest thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think that...
Yep.
Yeah.
So all that me getting picked on TV, that's the tame version.
Yeah.
The real version, if you want to hear it, is all over our podcasts for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, you really are the one that makes the show. I really
Thank
feel
you.
it. In fact, it was about a year ago, and the one thing I love about
Thank
your
you.
show is I have kids.
Yes.
So everything I want to watch, I got maybe an hour at night
Yep.
when they're sleeping.
Yep.
I'm sure you know.
I
the
do. I have
thing.
2 kids
And
myself.
so, and then there's the shows I watch with them. You're kind of a show I can watch when they're just running around the house. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not like kiddish, but it's a show that I can watch with you. And
Yeah.
it's decent enough that if they run by and look. And,
Fairly tame.
yeah, and they love you as well. But I think you really make that show.
I appreciate
and,
it.
Yeah, it was a year ago. I was like, this guy. I was like, this is one of the guys I'd like to meet, and then you come here. It's just amazing. So,
I'm just me. I like
I
that.
could sit here and talk about how cool you are for
Thank you.
hours.
I
If you want me to do
appreciate
that, I can do that.
I believe it's a mix of all 5 of us that really
Yeah.
make the show for sure.
well, I think
Where
there's
I'm-
definitely a group dynamic, but I think you add something to it that
Yeah, like,
it's
stuff
just
that comes
special type of
in,
spice, man.
comics, pop culture. I get very, very excited about comics and pop culture. They're James Cameron's Aliens gets me excited. Back to the Future gets me excited. Like frothing at the mouth excited. On the other end of the scale are Brian and Walt, Brian doesn't care at all. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't care about Star Wars. Back to the Future. As much as there is, people will cosplay. People.
That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He loves Jaws, and that's pretty much it.
Which it feels to me like the only reason that he really hangs out with all of them is because he grew up with them. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah, and we're I guess it's called the foil or whatever.
Yeah.
We're the targets of his barbs. He needs someone to make fun of. Might as well be us.
All right, so the last thing was, I know you just came from, I think it's Detroit
Yes.
Motor City Con.
Yes, I did.
Comic Con. So that was a big, huge event.
Yes.
How do you like our con? Is it-
I honestly love this con. I want to come back for like the next 20 years. Let's focus on the short term though.
Great. Oh yeah.
I want to
yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
back here next year, and I want to bring Mike and Brian with me.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I would love to be right at the same spot they set us up with, next to Gigi Edgley, hopefully, because she's a pretty awesome booth neighbor. Jason Mewes, who's to my other side, not so much.
Not
but-
so much.
not so much. But yeah, I mean, it's such a well-run con. They're treating us great. There's room to walk around. Everybody looks happy.
A lot
It's
more room this year. It feels like
Yep.
they widened the lanes a lot this year. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and plays an important factor. No one
Yeah.
wants to be squished in all day.
Exactly.
It's very claustrophobic.
Exactly.
So, Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm a podcaster. You're a podcaster.
Oh,
I
yeah. Do you want to
support
plug
podcasters.
anything?
You can hear me on Mike and I do a podcast called I Sell Comics. It's on Kevin's Smodcast Network. We do another show called The Ming and Mike Show, if you look that up. And
I had-
Comic Book Men, back for season 6. Thanks to guys like you watching it. We'll be back
Definitely.
in October when Walking Dead comes back.
It's a great show. Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Hey, you have a good one. So that was Ming Chen. And he actually gave us a promo, didn't he?
Yeah, which will be on.
Save that for surprise.
He seemed like a really cool guy.
Surprise!
Anyway, so let's talk about Comic Book Men a little bit.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
the cast of Comic Book Men is
Mike
name 'em.
Zappic.
Mike who?
Zappic?
Zapzik.
That's what I said the first time. Zappic?
Zapsic.
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 It's spelled Zapcic.
Then you got Brian.
So no idea how to pronounce that.
Brian
Johnson.
You have Mike.
Ming Chen, obviously.
Ming Chen. And
Kevin
then
Smith.
you have Walter.
You're so close. Starts with an F.
Walter Flanagan.
Yeah.
Oh,
look
Look
at
at
that.
that. He's on a roll, guys.
So that's all of them. And that's it. Good night,
Brian
folks.
Johnson. Yeah, that's the one I
Um,
couldn't remember.
So Walt,
Why is he there?
well, because Walt and Brian were both friends with Kevin Smith. They were all friends growing up, and it's funny because if you listen to like them talk about each other throughout all the media that they talk about each other, it was a point where Walt and Brian were both really good friends, and Kevin was sort of out of it. And then there was a point where Kevin started hanging out with Brian more, and Walt was kind of at it. Like they've all kind of shifted allegiances almost, but they've
Yeah.
always been friends, like ever since growing up.
And that's how Kevin is. Kevin is the one who becomes friends with you,
Yeah.
and he will be loyal to the
For
end.
the rest of their life.
Have you guys seen them inside of his movies?
I know Ming Chen was in a movie. He was in
Dogma.
Was
or
he in Dogma
Mallrats.
or Mallrats?
I think it's
I've seen
it's both.
Walt
He was an extra.
inside of Clerks. He's the crazy guy checking out the eggs by the
yeah,
thing.
that's right.
And then Walt and Brian both are at the end of Jay and Silent Bob. They're coming out of the movie theater, and they're talking about when are they going to make a good comic book movie. And Walt goes, "You tell him, Steve Dave." And Brian throws his hand off, and he's like, "Quit calling me that."
Because that's one of their podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do know their other good friend, Scott Mosier, who was in Clerks. He's in,
Oh, yeah.
and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he does the main podcast with Kevin, Smodcast.
Oh, really?
But he's like a producer, so he's not really.
Mm.
He's more involved in the behind the scenes stuff. But he's
So
known
how
them
I
forever as
know
well.
Walter he's known Walter forever because they knew
Yeah,
like
kids.
kids. They like.
Mhm.
I remember.
And same with
Kevin.
Brian. Brian
kinda,
lived in the
oh, really?
same town.
I know Kevin kind of talked about him like he thought he was this really. Like, because he was
Tough guy,
Walter
tough
was the
kid.
kind of person who wore that kid that wore Black Sabbath and
Well, and
Yeah.
And Kevin showed up to they used to go to the YMCA, and so Kevin showed
Yeah.
up to the YMCA day one day, and he was like, "Oh, I love Batman." He's like, "Adam Smith, that's my Batman," and Walt was like, "No, you don't know nothing about Batman." He gave him comics. He's like, "Go home, read these, come back."
yeah.
So that was his first impression of Walt. But yeah.
It's
So
cool.
they've known each other forever.
Now Ming Chen came on the scene because
1995.
Clerks came out, and he actually created a fan site about Clerks and Kevin Smith,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when Kevin Smith was like, "Hey," and he just found the website and was like, "Hey, come on and let's hang out." And then
What about Kevin Smith?
pretty cool.
Where did Kevin Smith come from?
Kevin Smith
He made
was a
Clerks.
mute,
Whoa.
and then he went and got. I'm going to drop that bit
Plot
right now.
twist.
No, we're done.
That's it.
That bit's over.
So Mike Zapsic. Does anyone know how he became part of the group?
I
I
have
have
no
no
idea.
clue.
I'll tell you how. He had a almost Rayman-esque style, just insane knowledge of comic books, and just started working at the comic book shop at 2000.
He reminds me of
That's
someone
it.
that would have that.
That's his whole backstory.
Really.
Is he was insanely knowledgeable of comic books and just started working at the stash in the year 2000. That's it.
You know what you love, you might as well do it.
That's it. I'm just like, wow. But he does strike me, right, as like somebody who
Like super comic book collectible
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Which
Like-
whenever it's on the show, whenever something comes out, he's
He knows.
kind of the guy.
He knows what's up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then Walt, of course, has the final say in everything because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he doesn't he own the store, right?
No,
Well,
Kevin
Jay and
owns
Silent Bob.
Kevin owns
Yeah.
the store, but
That's
he's
right.
in charge of it all.
Mm.
God, it's been
Because he
a
talks
long
about
time.
all the time how Kevin, Kevin
Yeah,
signs
he's
my
like, I
paychecks.
gotta-
Yeah,
I
no
gotta,
kidding. Yeah.
You know,
It's been a while, guys.
live up to the boss's expectations.
But it's cool. I mean,
Yada,
it's
yada.
and
It's
then
funny too because he'll buy any Gretzky memorabilia
Yes.
that comes to
Yeah.
the door just
Yes.
because he knows Kevin will want
Yep.
the one thing I'm wondering is where do they record their actual podcast? It's
like a
do you
back
think
room,
Kevin? I know. Do you think Kevin comes to them?
it. Oh, I think so. It's based in New Jersey, but he lives in L.A.
I understand it's based in
I
LA.
think they do. I think they
but-
record like a season.
Yeah, they record a whole
once.
season in one sitting, is what it is.
Yeah.
They talk about like what's going to happen in the shows and stuff.
Well, yeah, and okay, in the podcast thing, but
yeah.
and that makes sense. But would it be better for Kevin to fly out here, which he hates flying? He
He'll take
hates
the
flying
bus.
Southwest. He'll take a bus.
He has his own bus.
I
feel
understand, but I think it would be if I was Kevin Smith, the boss.
yeah.
I'd be like,
You guys fly to
here
us."
are 4 plane tickets.
Right,
Come
yeah.
out and meet me.
But maybe that's a chance for him to go home,
yeah.
like
'Cause
to
that's
go
true.
see
True.
family.
True.
Not only is he seeing his
That's
friends,
true.
but he's going home to see. It's just
Plus,
that mental
he was
reminder.
just talking about something on Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, where he just flew recently.
Yeah.
So
On
he's
Southwest?
still no, but he
Oh,
almost
but he did
missed a
just
flight.
he did just fly on
He
Southwest.
flew on Southwest.
Well, he almost.
Which
when
he's-
was that?
This was at Atlantic Comic Con.
to Planet Comic Con. He
Oh, really?
boycotts Southwest, and he came
Oh,
out.
really?
Yeah.
And this was a big thing for him to fly
Mhm.
Southwest just to come to Planet Comic Con.
Because I know they were telling
Yeah.
a story about how Jen, his wife, always is like, "You're gonna miss the plane. You don't,
Right.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
you need to get there in time." And he almost missed the plane. He called Jen like, "Hey, I almost missed it, but I'm here." And she goes, "Well, that's good because the only other flight was Southwest."
Right.
And she was like, "Oh no."
And for Planet Comic Con, they were talking about it, and he called his wife because Delta had been delayed like so long, and he would have not made it for Delta.
Mm.
And the only stinking flight was Southwest, right?
I can't
So
believe that.
he called his wife and was like, "Hey, this is the only flight," and she's like, "I know you're gonna get on that plane." And he buffed it up, and he got on that plane, and
Well, I mean, hey,
it was
you gotta do what you gotta do.
right, and like.
No, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's so true. He makes millions. I'm sure he didn't have to do anything.
True.
But it was really nice to see the fans kind of rally behind it because
Yeah.
he literally made it like an hour before his show.
Wow.
He was he touched down at the airport an hour before the show, and that distance from
Yeah.
from the airport down to
It
downtown.
was not an easy trek.
He had enough
in an
time
hour.
to get home or get into the hotel, settle in, and then finally make it to the show.
Mhm.
Like he didn't have time to freshen up or anything. He just got
Wow.
there.
The other thing is this. Maybe I think of Kevin Smith as that guy should not be riding in an airplane with the commoner.
Agreed.
Oh,
Right?
I don't think he thinks of.
Well,
himself
I know
like
I don't
that.
think he does too, but I think he shouldn't be in the commoner. I think he should have a private jet or something, or a
He does have a
small
bus.
jet.
He has
I
a
feel like-
bus, and that's
yeah.
what he uses.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mainly.
feel like that guy's popular enough or a big enough artist that
Well,
he should be.
You did hear what happened to his daughter, right?
No,
She,
Harley.
yeah, she almost. Well, and this is just what I heard. I can't say that it officially happened, but
That's fine. That's all. Our,
she,
that's all our
right,
podcast is.
right.
is
She
substantiated
took an
rumors.
Uber, and I guess somebody.
Oh, I
tried
did hear
to
about
Yeah,
that.
somebody tried to kidnap her from Uber.
She was
Yeah.
calling an Uber. Yeah, listen
Yeah,
to this,
yeah,
Michael. and
Mike.
Your Uber propaganda.
Okay.
She was in.
No
in front
one's
of a
kidnapping
Starbucks.
you, Tim.
Agreed. I mean, I agree. She was in front of a Starbucks, and she was like waiting for an Uber, and some guy pulled up, and there were 2 guys in the car, and she thought that was kind of odd to begin with.
Yeah,
And they like rolled in his window. He's like, "You called for an Uber?" She goes, "Yeah. Who are you here to pick up?" And she's like, "Just get in the car." And the guy in the car was like, "Just get in the car." And she goes, "No. Who are you here to pick up?" He's like, "Are you gonna get in or not?" And he's like, "No." And so then they drove off.
right. Like that's not creepy at all.
But she
Was it
called
an
her
Uber?
parents.
They just, well, they claimed
it
it as
real
an
Uber
It was
came?
an actual Uber car.
but yeah,
but it wasn't the Uber she called, I believe.
yeah.
I think, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step all over your
No,
story.
it's
Sorry.
cool. Like you know the details. I
'Cause
just knew that
heard
it
and-
happened.
yeah, Jay and Silent Bob, they talked about
That's
it.
wild.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like that's nope,
Right?
Nope.
And it's
so
so funny
that
because Mike's all pro Uber.
and that,
I'm
but I
all
mean,
like,
Well,
I'm gonna
that's
get
not.
kidnapped.
Well, it's just like did you ever take a taxi? Okay.
No, I haven't.
Well,
taken
do you
a
think
taxi.
Kanye
Let's
West is
not
going
go
to take an
off
Uber?
on
I mean, really?
Uber discussion
Agreed.
again.
So anyway, bringing it back to comic
That'll
book
be the
men.
4th episode of us fighting over Uber.
Welcome to our new podcast called Anti-Uber.
I don't think Kanye West is going to take Uber, guys.
Yeah,
Come on.
Okay, so a little bit of trivia for you guys. You ready?
Mhm.
Okay.
Test your comic book men knowledge.
Okay.
I've already lost
I
it.
love
What's
it.
the name? You might know more than you think. What's the name of the shop? What's the name of the comic book shop?
Jay and Silent Secret Stash. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Perfect.
Ding, ding,
actually.
ding.
That's
He's got a
crazy.
winner.
Yeah. Do you know where it's located?
It is in New Jersey.
In what city?
It's
Charles.
May
with
I
the
offer up a
steal?
steal?
Yeah.
Red Banks, New Jersey.
Oh, it's tied.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's great.
I
When
got
did-
2. I got 1.5.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
Got
Well, it's fine. Whatever. We don't keep score.
Yeah.
When
Whose line is
was-
it anyway?
When did the show start? Do you guys know? I just laid down the paper with the answer.
5 years ago.
So
When did comic book men start?
Wrong.
2010.
2012.
I want to say 2011.
10.
So you guys
Ooh,
have one more.
both
5
wrong.
seasons. There's 5 seasons.
July
Jeez.
9th, 2012.
Maybe it was a really short season.
I don't know. That's what Wikipedia says, and Wikipedia is
Weird.
never
Because
wrong.
we can
so.
really trust Wikipedia.
You're dang right. Let's see. So what season are they about to start?
Season 6.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
But I got it first.
And so on the Wikipedia, Mike had actually mentioned this to me, and I found it on Wikipedia where Kevin Smith, when he went in to go pitch the idea to
Uh-huh.
AMC for the show.
So I get that point too.
Yes, sure.
He's a
He
winner already,
basically
guys.
was like, he says, imagine like Pawn Stars only for geeks.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's interesting.
That's really enticing.
But I know, like, just recently I heard on one of his podcasts, he called, or he was emailing or chatting back and forth basically with the main program director for AMC. And I already told him the story. That's why I'm looking at you.
No, yeah,
Sorry.
totally.
But
yeah.
he was like, hey, thank you so much for picking up the next season. Like, you really did me a solid. And the main guy was like, that's not how this works. Like,
Uh-oh.
I'm not doing this as a favor to you. I'm doing this because it makes us money.
Makes
Like,
money, hey.
Don't think that it's just like, hey, we bend over backwards for Kevin
Give me
Smith.
that
I was
green,
like,
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In
that
more
green
ways than
guy.
one for Kevin
Right,
Smith.
hey.
Anyway, so how much of the success of the show do you think is to play with the fact that it falls behind
Kevin
The Walking
Smith.
Dead?
Oh.
Because I was just thinking about that.
I have no. I
Um,
didn't even know that it did happen.
You know,
Oh, really? Well,
No.
you don't watch Walking Dead anymore. You stopped that. Not
False-
all blame
Even
you.
if I don't
don't
watch
blame you.
Walking Dead, I don't watch things on schedules. I don't even know.
Oh, yeah,
what
you don't
their
have cable.
schedule is.
well,
right.
here's a story that actually Kevin talked about during Planet Comic Con.
well, doesn't Talking Dead fall after Walking
yeah,
Dead?
it
Talking
goes
Dead is
Walking
after.
Dead, Talking Dead, then it goes comic book.
Yeah.
No.
Well, actually, I don't think it is unless his wife, because the story, he talks about how his wife is like not interested in any of his work.
Yeah, she's really
So like
not.
they sit and have the marathon for The Walking Dead, and like as soon as a guy that looks like Kevin Smith comes on TV and he was like, stay here for a new episode of Comic Book Man, she's like, all right, we're going to sleep. Turns it off, and he's just like, what the? So I mean, it depends on his demographic, like
Yeah,
the.
that's true.
Well, and
Yeah.
then
But I'm gonna say you're gonna grab the biggest nerd demographic.
no.
I
From
don't
The
think-
Walking Dead.
I would say if it's directly after, but it's Walking Dead, which is, let's say, I don't know.
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, but you're gonna lose. You're probably Talking Dead has a tenth
Nah.
of the people listening.
Yeah,
watching
not
it.
a
Well,
lot of people like.
Oh, that
Like, a lot of-
follow through to Walking
Yeah.
Dead, to
right
Talking Dead.
to Talking
But
Dead
that's
and
the
then
thing.
on to it.
All throughout all the commercial breaks. I know you don't have cable, so it's different for you, but that's all they're talking about during Walking Dead is stick around for Talking Dead, and then right after that, a new episode of Comic Book Man.
And
blah,
then
blah,
the other
blah.
thing is, I don't watch Walking Dead anymore.
Same,
Really?
really.
I think it was season 4.
I'm sorry. I'm not a fan.
They're just
I'm-
trying to. Let's not get into that. But I
They're
feel like they're
stretching it
trying
out.
to up.
It's okay.
They're trying to outdo each
Oh, I
season.
completely believe and agree with everything you say. It's just I'm hooked. I can't.
You were the
I
one
can't
that
stop
told
at this
me
point.
about the cannibals and why am I watching this. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
you
I
know what?
know
That's a good point. I'll just stop
The
watching.
beginning of when they go to Taramis. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh man.
I just.
It's all right. It's
I
all
don't
right.
even have cable TV, so like trying
Yeah.
to catch up on it. All I have is Netflix.
If you go to AMC.com,
Yeah.
you can watch Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Comic Book Man, like any
Probably
of their
do Comic
shows,
Book Man.
episode at a time. It's kind of like the Hulu, where
Oh,
it's
really?
out immediately after.
Now the other thing is AMC. AMC is a juggernaut.
fire.
player,
Yeah,
really.
they're
And it
amazing.
started
with
with
Mad Men
Mad Men,
and well, no,
I think it
Was
started
it
with
Mad
Mad
Men?
Men.
They've got an amazing writers as
Well,
well.
and then Breaking Bad was on there.
Oh, you're right, started Breaking
and Breaking Bad and Mad Men came on about the same time, and then
And then it went
Wildfire.
into Walking Dead, and then just
And I feel
Yeah.
like the beginning of Walking Dead really stuck because, there's always going to be that zombie crave. I don't care what decade, whenever it is, there will always be a big fan interest in zombies.
Oh yeah.
Because, it's a possible thing. But I just.
It is a possible thing, Charles.
Well,
I don't know if you know
Did you
that
hear
now.
what they're.
It's gonna happen.
it's not a possible
gonna
thing.
happen.
I don't know. Hey,
There's
I
an ant
did.
in Africa that will take control of you.
Well, it should be here by now.
They're actually scientists got the go ahead to start trying to reanimate dead bodies. Just to let you guys know.
That's awesome.
So we're one step closer.
There
to
was this guy in
zombies.
Florida, Michael.
Okay,
he
back
got high on bath
on
salts.
back.
And he
I love
ate
tangents.
this other dude's face.
Yes, back on the
Yeah,
track.
that was
All
like
right.
years ago. But anyways,
So, what are some of your favorite moments from
I
the
just
show?
spit in the mic.
I noticed that you out.
when
Mike's
Ming
over here drinking.
when Ming lost a bet for some big comic fair they were having, and it totally became a bust. And I can't remember what episode it was, but I remember they were gonna put on like some big comic fair, and he was talking Walt up to like, oh, it's gonna be a big thing. We're gonna have a great turnout. And then it just didn't really
Fizzled.
do anything. And I think he had to like dress up in a princess outfit
I think it was
or,
Princess
yeah.
Leia.
or
no,
some
it was,
some outfit.
It was Richard Reed. It was the Fantastic Four.
That's what it
Yes,
was.
That's what it
The-
was.
The main two characters, the guy and the girl.
Yes.
And
Richard, yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
So-
And Mike had to dress
Yeah.
up as
God, that was a
Mr.
good
Incredible or
episode.
whatever, which
That's
is not
right.
really what it is. But
Yep.
oh man.
Man.
So what things on there?
Well, I
can you
didn't get to list them.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
What are
Sorry.
your favorite? If you had to pick one thing, you
One
could
thing?
memorable thing. Charles, you mentioned before the podcast that they released their own comic book.
Yeah, they're
Cryptozoic Man?
that was a great episode.
That
I
was
really
really
liked
good.
seeing them finally get because that was a big thing for Walt, like being able to
Yeah,
finally
'cause he's
release
an
their own
artist.
comic.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see some of the sketches he does, and it's
Yeah.
like
And they had
crazy good.
a big release too. Like it
Mm.
was great. I mean, of course you got Kevin Smith backing you up on it.
Yeah, that
The one
kinda
with
makes
Stan
sense.
Lee was really good.
Yes.
I know. A lot of the ones I can think of with Batman '66. I mean,
Yeah.
them in the helicopter, them in them running
The
around in the
Bat-cycle.
bat cycle and stuff like that.
I know two of my favorite ones that I can think of off the top of my head, which I think they're both from like the first couple seasons, where they had a friend who basically like he was either retiring or something flooded or something like that and ruined a
Yeah.
bunch of his comic book collection.
Oh
That's
yes, I know what
And
you.
they
yeah.
did like some sort of fundraiser thing
And
and raised a
oh,
bunch of
it
money
was-
for him.
It was his art.
Yes,
They had a
that's right.
big auction for his art because I guess they couldn't afford anything.
That's right.
and
I
it
remember
just
that now,
it
yeah.
blew up.
Because he had all these comics, and then he also had all this artwork too, and they earned like way more money than they ever
Or-
expected to.
Maybe that was the episode because it was I don't know if it was that one because do you remember the episode where they auctioned off a bunch of like, Marvel art? It was like original Marvel
I
art.
don't
Yes, that was a different one.
That was a
I think
different
you
one.
that's season
That was a different
that's
one.
season
Is
5.
that season 5?
Yeah.
that's
Then I
sounds
must have
more
seen the
recent.
tail end of season 5 because that was
'Cause
a
I haven't
great
seen
It was
episode.
like
any of
the
season
big
five.
big flash head.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it was a
And it-
big deal.
It was like his. That was another one. I'm getting a couple of those mixed up.
yeah.
But there was like his. He came in. It's like my uncle does this stuff, and they
Oh,
bring it
yeah.
to him. They're like, "Holy crap! This is this guy."
Just a plethora of
Just the
and
stuff they get in that store,
his
too, is-
his aunt. So he died, and his aunt's trying. So they sold that stuff to help her aunt, and it blew up too.
yeah,
it was like
amazing.
it was like 5 or 6 times as much,
Then the other one that I really liked was
which is amazing because it was only like. I
wasn't-
want to say like 8,000.
Yeah, it wasn't like
And I was like, 8,000? That should be way more than
right.
that.
You
but-
would think.
But they were ecstatic and they thought that was way more. So, to me, maybe it's an in like an
inflation.
inflation of when I was a kid. I
Right.
thought of if I got this one comic,
It'll
it
be
would be
worth
worth millions.
millions, yeah.
And
Right.
you're like, it's not
Yeah.
really. It's not the investment you thought of as you were a kid.
Which is funny too, because real fast. The other thing that I really liked was when Ming tried to throw birthday parties at the store,
yeah.
and that was like season 1. But that's
was
like
terrible.
a perfect
That I
example
had forgotten about that one.
of Walt's just stone-faced hate. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
God.
he looked so frustrated during that whole
that
thing.
was wonderful.
That was a great episode.
Well, just lately in the last season, he's walking around with a selfie stick.
Oh,
Ming
really?
Chen. Have you seen that one?
no.
He's walking and he's like taking pictures and everywhere. And Walt, you can just see it's building up. And one time, there's a guy comes up and he's doing the exchange, and the guy's like, "I want 600," and Walt's like, Walt, I can't
Yeah,
do
I can't do
600.
that.
Even though it's like that's a steal. He was
I'll give you a 550.
doesn't really. So to me, anyone that goes, this is a side tangent. To me, anyone that goes in the store, hike the price up
Yeah.
twice as
Oh,
much.
for
because
sure.
It ain't gonna matter. He's always gonna.
Always
He's
gonna
never
lower
gonna be
it.
like deal.
Mm.
So, and so he's going. He's like 600. He's like 300, and he's with. He's with
selfie
somebody with a selfie stick, just a customer taking pictures, and you see Walt just pissed off, and the other guy's like, "So we're good for that?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "I think you said 350," and that's totally not what he said. The customer was taking advantage
Yeah.
of Walt, and yeah, he got even more pissed.
Sounds
it was
about right.
Yeah,
I've always been curious about like how they do the show, like because since are they constantly recording? Like these guys
I
carrying
don't
around
I think
cameras.
so. I think
Is
it's
it
just
are
during
these
certain
people
points in
planned to
times.
come in? Like
And I think
yes.
I think there are walk-in
It's a
guests, but I
setup.
think
Yeah,
honestly,
everything's a setup.
yeah, everything is like
everything's scripted.
Hey, we really liked
Uh.
your item. Can you come back
Or-
during this time? We can put you on the
Yes,
show.
exactly.
or
something
they
like
have
that.
to call ahead, like, "Hey, I have this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I please be on the show?" Or
but I think when you said Walt's very like structured on his prices, I've seen him give some pretty amazing deals or like settle for prices.
and it's okay.
if it's somebody that's important, like
Yes.
for instance, the guy who was a real life superhero. Like,
yeah.
not a real life superhero like we were talking earlier, but he
Not
was like a
Phoenix Jones.
firefighter.
Oh, gotcha.
And like he literally like he does firefighter and charity work and all this other stuff, and he was like, man,
Right.
like, you're a real life superhero, and he
Oh.
settled on a low price for him. Like
The Batmobile episode, that was good.
That was a
Mhm.
good
When
one.
they got to come by, they got to ride around the original. I think it was.
Oh,
I think.
gosh, that was a good one.
Man, that was a good one.
Did you see the one where Stan Lee was there?
I did.
And he was there, and the guy came in and said he was going to give up on comics.
What?
Yeah, there was a guy who for like 15 years comes in every week, and he's like, "Guys, I'm sorry, I just need to grow up." And they're like, "Okay," and he's like, So Stan Lee was there, like it must have been like the next day, and they were talking about it. And they actually called him and said, "Hey,
Really?
come in." And he comes around the corner and he's like, "Stan Lee's there," and Stan Lee talks him back in
What?
to doing comics forever.
To
It was-
making
That's amazing.
comics?
It was really cool. No, not make comics,
Just
just
collecting?
just don't stop
Yeah.
reading comics.
That's awesome.
And he kind of he asked him like, what was the first comic you did? It was like really cool. That was
That is
that was
cool.
very cool. The other one. A guy comes in and asks for the Spider-Man wedding edition. Did you
Ooh,
know that?
that's a good
with his
one.
wife. Do you
Yeah.
remember
I did. I
not
did
his
remember
wife,
that
with
one.
his girlfriend. And then that was one of the times he
You-
gives it for free. He
you
just
talk-
gives it to him.
Are you talking about the Amazing Spider-Man wedding edition?
I
Which-
think so.
Where it has Mary Jane. It's like it has
Yes.
It has Peter holding Mary Jane, and like the heart emblem is Spider-Man. I
And
have that comic.
Do you?
Yeah.
And he's there, and that's
Yeah.
and then he gets it, and he proposes to
Yep.
the girl right there.
This guy's a huge
That's pretty
Spider-Man
sweet.
fan.
Dude,
That's his
I'm-
favorite character.
I have my dad's entire original collection. Now I'm not gonna say like entire as in all of the Amazing Spider. No, I have just what he collected. I've got a little bit of everything.
Everything of
Marvel-wise.
his collection.
Yeah, like I have
Like
the
he didn't
entire
hold anything back.
right. I have the entire Secret Wars, the original
That's
series.
cool.
I have Web of Spider-Man #1. I have 2 issues of that. And I'm sure you guys know this, but the very first appearance of the Black Spider-Man is in
Mhm.
of Secret Wars,
Secret Wars, yeah.
and then it kind of just carried over into Amazing Spider-Man because that's the Spider-Man they were going off of was the Amazing Spider-Man series.
You actually told me about Secret Wars. I'd never even heard of
Dude,
Secret Wars.
really?
until you-
Best
yeah, I know.
best Marvel series I think out there. If they could make a
Nah.
movie out of that sometime,
Mm.
There's a little thing called Age of Apocalypse.
I don't know.
It's coming out, you
I
know.
love Secret Wars. That's
I've
just
heard really bad.
I've heard bad things
Sorry,
too.
sorry.
no,
but
no,
I'm-
it's okay. That's what I grew up on with my dad, and that's kind of what like that was the series that got me into comics was
Yeah.
Secret
Yeah.
Wars. I remember just reading over and over and over, like just that whole series. I loved it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
True,
no,
true.
That's
It's
awesome.
that whatever. It's that one thing that brought you in because Age
There's
of
always
Apocalypse
one
is that for
thing
me.
that really pulls you in, right?
yeah.
Mine was Cyclops and Aquaman. Cyclops.
Mhm. Very good.
Aquaclops.
There
Sorry.
you go.
Anyway.
That DC Marvel crossover.
Psycho
there.
Yeah,
Man.
it was great. It was good times. So real fast, do you think that that shop
didn't-
does it
that
look?
did- wait,
it
wait,
did
didn't
not
work out
land
very
at
That
all.
did not go what you
at
wanted.
all. Not even close. In fact, we're gonna edit that out. We won't edit it out.
We
but-
won't.
No, probably not.
Real fast, the set Does it look small to anybody else? Does it look like
Very close.
it's got to be the most cramped thing to
like
record in ever?
Oh, the podcast or
it's-
comic
No,
book bin store?
The store.
That looks like a normal comic book store.
No,
I know it
like
looks
a
like a
small
normal comic book store, but I'm just saying if you're gonna film a show,
Oh, yeah.
that
Well,
looks like the worst setup.
But I think they want to make it like little homey and friendly like that. That
Oh,
way
yeah,
it just
I
kind of gives off
agree,
that
maybe, but-
authentic look, you know.
I just feel like there's got to be like a room off to the side of that showroom. That's
Yeah,
like-
but I feel like they want to put it there because that's front and center with the. You can see the fans coming in and out.
true.
Or not the fans, the
customers.
the customers coming in and out. They're
Well, a lot
right
of them are
there at the
fans.
desk. You know, they have to foil with money in the back. Plus, if you look back in behind, there's not a lot of room back there either.
Yeah,
They just have enough.
that's
set
what I'm
up.
saying. It's very like
have the basement.
very small.
But that's very New Jersey-ish.
Yeah, I
true.
feel like it's original to New Jersey, and like Kevin Smith doesn't want to change that. This is how the store's been. It's how it's always been. Fun fact. That's where they
Jeez,
signed.
that's how it's
I,
been.
I talk with my hands. I'm sorry. That's where they filmed. In Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, it has Brody's Secret Stash.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
that store.
Yeah,
It's the same store.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's owned that store
Okay.
for a while.
And then the other thing, real fast, I want to talk about was anytime they get so many weird, they get a lot of weird stuff in there.
The
but
items. That's what I was going to
the
talk about.
things that I really like the most are the things that honestly that Ming likes the most. Like they got Thundercat toys in, and Ming
Yeah.
just
Oh
goes
my
crazy. GI Joes.
Yeah.
They had that huge
So yeah, what was your?
aircraft carrier.
Oh yeah.
I think
That
Mike's
was
a
the
big
coolest
GI
thing
Joe
ever.
fan. Mike Zabzik, I think he's the big GI Joe fan.
I don't know,
That,
Ming
thing that they
was
had
freaking
that
out about it, I think.
completely set up.
That was insane, right? And then he almost like
Huge.
the dude was like, "Do you want to buy this?" And he's like, "Well, let's set it up." And then like 2 hours later,
I
it's all
know.
set up. He's
Oh,
like,
I think I remember that. It was
I
like an
don't
entire collection
know.
of something.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
if you don't buy it now,
I
after
know.
you took 2 hours to set it up,
Right.
like,
I know.
dang.
So
Yeah.
what was your favorite thing of that? So of the things
I would
that
probably
were brought
say
in?
that
Oh.
well, I have a few, but I would say that aircraft carrier is probably
That was
one
pretty
of my
cool.
favorite. And then the other thing that I really liked was they get a lot of old stuff in. I'm trying to think.
Like, it's difficult. Like
The
you get so
Am-
entangled with the story and everything.
Yeah, the Amigo things are
that was cool.
Yeah,
are just like, wow, these were toys.
yeah.
The cardboard Batman cave, I'm just like, ugh,
That was
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Somebody
can't
had the
believe it.
actual Star Wars cardboard thing for like when
Yeah.
they ran out of figurines.
Mhm.
They were like,
I
Yeah.
saw that
you
too.
get this in the mail, and then you'll get your.
I remember that it was
Figurines
in a
later.
comic book or whatever, and they had to ship
Ugh.
it
Yeah.
to whoever to get that set.
Mhm.
It
That was
awful, right?
insane.
But yeah, I'm trying to think
Anything
of what
else?
else.
What's the
The
what's
cool
the
one-
coolest comic you've seen on there?
There's a couple. I mean,
Detective Comics #1.
that was on there.
No, I have
I
no
was about
idea.
to say,
I'm sorry,
dang,
guys.
dang.
I'm sorry.
They always talk about the most. Walking Dead #1 is the big one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I saw the Teenage
#1.
Mutant Ninja Turtles one was really one
Yeah.
of the coolest ones I've seen on there.
I
Which-
mean, the black ice, the black Spider-Man outfit
Yeah.
was a cool one.
Was that Web or Amazing Spider-Man?
No, that was the Secret Wars.
Okay, because they have had
The first appearance of that. Yeah.
yeah they did have the black suit and Web of Spider-Man as well because there's so many different
Yeah.
kinds of
There was a girl in
Spider-Mans.
there collecting it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. All the just the ones you always see, the iconic ones.
Oh, yeah.
Green Lantern and Green Arrow.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. First appearance of Gambit and stuff along
Yep.
those lines.
Gotta go with the X.
But there's not a lot of old
No,
ones.
I didn't notice
I've
that.
seen.
Well, I feel like because those are really hang on to.
Yeah, they don't go
Like,
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go to a store because those are like
Yeah.
worth $500, $600, $700. They're not gonna. I'm sorry, but they're not gonna go to a store like that. They're gonna go to someone that's like
Like an auction
a
house
high
or something.
roller.
Yeah.
they're gonna auction it off like
a Nick
business.
Cage.
Like it's hilarious when I see some sort of Detective Comics in like vintage stock because I'm just like, why would you bring your
Yeah.
no
here.
nothing
you know what I
against
mean?
vintage
Yeah.
stock. It's a good store. I love the store.
They had a booth at Comic Con.
Yeah, they did. It's great. It was a great booth. Buddy of mine used to work there, and he wasn't happy with how they dealt with
Trade
comics.
comics.
Yeah.
Didn't Nick Cage have what is it? A Superman? What was
What,
it?
Mental
Detective,
Breakdown?
Not
Yeah,
Detective Comics, but
um,
Action Comics #1.
A huge
Did
ego.
he get the one with X? Hey, Nick Cage is awesome.
Don't diss the cage,
That
bro.
guy will
Are you
freak out on
serious?
camera for nothing.
I mean, yeah, that's
he is the best. Look at all the
you
people
got
he's
that.
been on.
You got that. You
I
got me
mean,
there.
We have the Nick Cage freak out color-coded system.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Anything else? We're at 40.
real fast then, because I was trying to. Part of the thing that I really love about that show is the questions they ask. Just a little trivia questions to
At
each
the
other.
very,
Yada,
very
yada,
beginning.
yada.
yeah.
Just throughout the show, and I was trying to find
That's
a
how
list
they.
of them.
That's how they start out every show.
That's
It's
awesome.
right? Like I tried to find like the best questions out of them. Couldn't find anything, so I did find a list of comic book questions.
I
real
love
fast.
his outros. I love Kevin's outros at the end of the show. I love them.
Okay, real fast.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm just gonna give you like 5. We're just gonna
Okay.
pick 5 from this list of 25. Okay.
Okay.
Do
Cool.
it.
Okay.
Oh, that's way too easy. What was Daredevil's father's profession?
It's a boxer.
A welder. B, circus strongman.
Circus
C, a lawyer. Or
Ooh.
D, a boxer.
Ooh, I wonder which one.
No, that's easy too. Well, it's fine. Richard Reed's alter ego in the Fantastic Four is. I'm not going to give you multiple choice. You guys just did that. for me.
Plastic
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. You got my plastic.
Not
Man.
Plastic Man. That's
Let's
DC.
see. No. What is a Green Lantern's weakness aside from Ryan Reynolds' bad CGI?
His animatronic suit, or not animatronic.
Unplugging the lantern, leaving the batteries
I
out of
mean,
the lantern.
Maybe.
What is it? I
technically.
feel like it was definitely in
I'll
the
give you
movie.
multiple choice. A, darkness. B, kryptonite. Maybe. Maybe.
So true.
C, the color yellow. Or D, zombies.
Color.
I'm gonna say the first one.
Really, darkness?
Sure.
No, it's color yellow.
Really?
Yeah.
Shows you how much
Because
I know
yellow
about Green
is
Lantern.
the color of
Sadness.
not sad.
What?
don't
How
know.
about the happy face? The smiling happy face is yellow.
Oh gosh, no, I
am
shouldn't have
sad
gone
when
into
I
it because
saw
I don't
that.
really.
Go ahead, continue on.
All right. Well, which Marvel character will be starring in her own Netflix series later in 2015? Sue Storm, Jessica Jones. This is old.
Jessica Jones.
Nancy Drew or Black Cat.
Jessica
Jessica Jones.
One more. One more.
Just side note, real quick. Scarlett Jones's Black Widow is getting her own movie.
Yes,
AKA.
I know.
Yeah,
she is.
She's getting her own movie, and then Harley Quinn from the
Is
new
that
one, the Suicide
official,
Squad.
official? That's for. I mean,
That's
I
for
don't
sure.
know
That's
why
happening.
They didn't even. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Them not doing that.
Unsubstantiated rumors. That's
No,
what we do
I mean
here.
in this, but she's come out and talked about how they are doing a new movie with heroines and
I thought because all I've heard was
villains.
What was it?
She loves the character.
What's the guy's name? Tony Stark guy. Gosh.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robbie Downey Jr. He was like, he came out and said, if they don't do it, they're crazy.
Oh yeah,
I
for
thought
sure.
that's what I heard.
Like,
I didn't heard it's
well, I mean, they
official.
dropped so many hints about Black Widow's life early on, and like all the stuff that she's done. It's like they need to do a movie. They've plugged so much into the movies that they just need to do it. And there's rumors that it's
They
going
don't have
be
to do a backstory. It's
no, like it's like the new Spider-Man. You don't need a backstory.
You don't need to
just
slow.
put 'em in.
You don't slow it down. Just
No.
keep going.
And there's rumors that
that's-
Tony's going to be in the new Spider-Man movie.
So real
too.
fast, that's one of
Yes,
the things
that
I
is something.
really liked about Captain America, and I know we're getting way off topic here, but Civil War, they introduced Spider-Man. They didn't explain the fact that he has super strength or anything like
Right.
that. They just showed him catching a car or catching Bucky's,
Right.
fist and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but pretty much everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They didn't have to explain it. One last one, then. You ready? This is what we're gonna end on. Which of these is not a DC comic villain? You ready?
Okay.
Clock King, Captain
Okay.
Boomerang.
Whoa. Not a DC.
Not.
Clock King is DC.
Not a villain. Just say not a villain because they're all supposed
Not
to
a
be DC.
villain.
Clock King, Captain Boomerang, Swiss Army Man, or Calendar Man.
Calendar Man.
What are we saying? They're not DC or
That's
they're not
not
a
a villain.
Oh, okay. Calendar Man is a villain.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
Clock King.
Clock King is a villain.
Third
Yeah.
choice.
Boomerang is a villain.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Swiss Army Man. Okay.
Swiss Man.
Yeah. Some of these are
I've
so-
never even heard
One
of
of these
Swiss
was
Man.
like,
crazy.
what's Superman's home planet called?
Kryptonite.
What?
What's Carnage's
Not
origin?
Kryptonite.
I'm just kidding.
Carnage's
Yeah,
origin?
what's Carnage's origin?
It's actually when you eat too much carne asada.
Carnage,
it's
the
like this-
villain
it's
He
in
is
this
not.
Spider-Man.
He's not a
horrible-
comic book person.
It's this horrible, like.
okay.
How dare you, sir?
I mean,
No, I'm
I
not.
talk so much about like I know comics, but like,
You're a comic movie person.
I
Yeah,
am.
there we go.
I am.
Marvel
What was the name
Universe.
of the first Robin?
Dick Grayson?
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Then was it Jason died?
Jason Todd.
Jason's the
Yeah.
one that died.
Jason
Got
Todd
killed by
was
the
died.
Joker,
and
right?
then
Todd, yeah.
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake.
Yeah, Tim
And then
Drake.
Damian
Tim Drake's
Wayne,
the one
son
that
of
went
Batman.
totally insane.
All right, that's it. That's all the trivia you get
All right.
here, and it
So
was,
that was pretty
nothing
easy
close
trivia.
to. Yeah,
That was all right.
these are so simple. It's like
Kevin
So-
Smith would be proud.
So next week we're going to be talking about Planet Comic Con. We had a blast at Planet Comic Con. Thank you for everyone for coming out.
Yes.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have 3 of them. Username Nerd News, username Nerd Comics, username Nerd Games. Our news comic is covering Midwest local news. We got all kinds of stuff. If you're outside of the area, go ahead and watch it. It's still fun. Watch it.
It is
I
fun.
swear,
Just
you
watch
just
it.
watch it. Just watch it.
You need to. I like the outro. Don't get me wrong.
The new one.
But it's the same thing on each one.
Right.
It's like
I know.
Just
It's
watch
a
it.
lot of work.
just watch it.
No, that we're not doing
Oh,
that.
you're not doing it? Okay, good. To be
So,
fair, I didn't stick around to the end
I
of
know.
that video. So.
I know. So,
Sorry.
but we're also at username Nerd on Twitter. We have a Facebook,
Facebook.
username Nerd.
Face
Pretty
that
much
book.
everywhere, username Nerd. I think we have a Tumblr account. I don't check very often.
There's a Tumblr account.
We have a Tumblr and
Wow.
we
What?
have an Instagram.
You can find us on Friendster
Instagram, which I'm not on very
or
much either.
Reddit.
Intogram.
Is
But,
there anything else you got? I don't think.
oh, our
there's
phone
any
number.
other- Oh yeah.
816-717-NERD.
Username Nerd Hotline, ladies.
I love-
Ladies, you out
pretty
there?
I
sure.
love you had to like guess. Anyway, if that is the
Nerd.
right number, you just
That
give it a
is.
call and you can leave us a little message,
And we'll put you on
the
air.
show. Unless you're like, hey, you're the same nerd. and beep, 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 beep,
Call your
beep,
good friend
then
Chucky
no.
away.
That's a no. But,
What else?
it's just Morse code.
Going back old days.
I think that's pretty much it, honestly.
We're
All
gonna
the
be
outlets.
at Cantacon. We're gonna be at Kansas City Comic Con, but we don't have a booth. But we will be there recording, so you can see
August?
us there.
That's gonna be a
in August.
challenge.
All right.
Yeah,
'Cause the booth made it a lot easier, I think, recording
it did. It did. So, but
You'll
we'll figure
do
it out.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about interviews next week.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
hey, let me ask you this because you actually listen to our podcast. Do you know like our tail end catchphrase? God, we didn't go
Oh.
over this, so I really do.
Ooh, real true
I hope
question.
you
These are
know.
harder than the quizzes.
Yeah.
I'll
give you a hint. It's stay something.
I do
Stay
not.
nerdy. It's okay. Gosh
Stay
dang
nerdy.
it.
I should have known
Nobody
that.
knows our
No, I
catchphrase.
should have known that. Stay nerdy because I always say let's get nerdy
So yeah,
with friends.
All right. Stay nerdy.
So, yeah.
We haven't reached that level of
it's
success.
still it's a catchphrase.
You'll get there. Don't worry, guys. You'll get there.
Somebody out there knows it.
Or they claimed
I'll
it
tell you
and they
what.
just-
If you know our catchphrase, hit us up on Twitter. Let me know that you know it.
Yes, which you know it
Hashtag
now.
Stay nerdy.
So if you're going to do that, you already know, and there's no
Well-
real contest here.
I don't care. I want to hear.
I'm gonna let Ming Chen say it.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. You're listening to my favorite podcast, Username Nerd. Stay nerdy, my friends.
Incorrect. Override denied. Program activated.
Okay, stop. Don't go to the next YouTube video or channel or skip or don't do anything. Real quick, 5 seconds. We have 3 different channels. Please subscribe to them. Username Nerd News, username Nerd Comics, username Nerd Games. We have separated them out into 3 ones. Choose all of them or just one to subscribe to. You'd love it. I promise you, we'll give you great content. It'll show up in your feed. You'll love it. Just real quick click. It doesn't take but a few seconds. You'd be awesome. Thank you. I mean, you are really awesome. Thank you.